the first year of business, the total sales was 60,000, and then estimated that it was going to be 200. I'm now sitting just over 190,000 in sales in total for this financial year. Probably by the end of the second week, when the phone just was ringing probably 6-8 times per day. So I started out off with myself and one other person, and now there's 4 of us in the crew. So it's basically doubled in staff in the last 6-8 months.
So I'm here with Terry. We've been working together for quite a while. I think probably July last year-ish, I
Yeah,
believe.
roughly about that.
Yeah. So you've been in 6 months. Do you want to just start off with who you guys are and what you guys do?
Yep, I do a lot of fencing between timber fencing, colorbond, bull fencing, repairs, and new builds.
Yeah. So pretty much down our alley. It was a pretty good match. So when I first approached you, how did you feel about it?
A bit skeptical at first because wasn't sure of what sort of leads there were out there, and just unsure of the unknown really at the end of the day.
Have you used any marketing services?
Many years ago in another field of work that sort of used Google Ads, but apart from that, no, nothing extra at all.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm assuming after you signed on, at what point did you kind of realize, oh, this is something that's has a lot of potential?
Probably by the end of the second week, when the phone just was ringing probably 6-8 times per day. The workers would get there and they'd just take over doing the work and leave me just to worry about answering the phone and running back and forth between the work site and car to write down details.
I know when you first started, you were 2 weeks booked out.
Yep.
How far are you booked up now?
I'll be probably 4 to 5 weeks at the moment.
I know someone's going to think about this like, oh, you might be booked out, but is your margins increasing as well, or your margins basically the same?
I've put them up a little bit towards the start of this year, only for the simple fact that everything's going up slightly.
Yeah.
So they've gone up marginally, but not considerably a great deal.
And then also, in terms of your team, what, 4 guys at the moment? Is that right?
Yes. So I started out off with myself and one other person, and now there's 4 of us in the crew. So it's basically doubled in staff in the last 6-8 months.
Awesome. In terms of numbers, I'd love to hear, how are you going? Do you have a rough estimate in terms of how much you reckon you've got through us over the 6 months?
Easily 6 figures from doing the work. You could almost say it'll probably be around about just under, maybe just 25 to 30,000 a month. That's clear after all materials and labour has been paid out. So I did a colorbond fence 2 days ago. It was 72 metres and just on 5,000 profit straight out of that one. It's just non-stop. Like today, people ringing after hours trying to get quotes and stuff like that. I'd say this week the phone's probably rung between 4 and 6 times every day. I'm moving house in about 3 weeks' time to a bigger property. I'll be able to have more room for more of my equipment and stuff like that there on site. Yeah. My accountant, she had to put forward to the real estate what my projected income was going to be.
Yeah.
And at that stage, it was sitting low 180,000.
Yeah.
And she put that the first year of business, the total sales was 60,000, and then she estimated that it was going to be 200. I'm now sitting just over 190,000 in sales in total for this financial year.
Wait, surely you're going to hit 400, almost $500,000, which is just ridiculous. Because the thing is, you're talking about profit though. That's the difference as well. It's not revenue. If you include the material costs, you're going to be doing $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Sales. That's awesome that you've just taken advantage of it. When it comes to Google, there are only a select few that actually are able to get around to it. And that's why the people in the top 3, they end up just getting all the quotes, right? The whole purpose behind all this stuff is just to help people that are just starting out, don't have that massive marketing budget, to basically have access to those top spots, and then slowly book out your work and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you're telling me you live in the dream.
In the beginning, I was adding the cost of the subscription into the cost of the fencing, and now it's just a regular thing. It's just absorbed in day-to-day of the business now. It doesn't get added into the costing of it anymore. Yeah, there's just that much work.
Last question, do you recommend the service?
Most definitely.
Thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it. Just glad to hear how well you're doing, because it really made me realize the potential from my side. There are people that would tell you that's way too expensive. I would never pay for something like that. And then you kind of question, oh, is this something that's actually valuable? And then you come in, and ever since then, I've kind of realized people can literally just go from just making normal amounts. And especially if you have a crew of 2 to 3 people, you need that work, right? You need to keep them busy. I appreciate you being transparent with the numbers and stuff like that.
Definitely.
All right, well, I'll let you go then. Yeah, I'll just speak to you when I speak to you then.
Yeah, no worries. I'll take a screenshot of my Xero for you, and I'll send it through to you so you can fall off your chair.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. I don't want you to set the expectation too high.